Howdo. Hi, I'm Chris. Welcome to King Bespoke Creations. We're going to fettle a neck today. Well, more importantly, we're going to sort the headstock out. There's not a lot I'm going to do with the neck. I'm going to take some more of the shine off the back of here, make that a little more aged, I think. I was advised by you to knock the headstock about a little bit. It's got a couple of dents in there from lots of wear, as it's a second-hand guitar anyway. But we'll make that a little bit more dented. I'm going to get rid of the stickering that's on here. I'm going to put an inlay in that's mine, just to claim it. Right, well, let's go and see how we're going to, sort this out, shall we? Whoops! So, how do we beat up a headstock? Well, that's one way of doing it. Takes a beating, I'll give it that. Let's get a couple of those on, especially on that top edge. Just feels wrong doing this, doesn't it? Back, that top edge on the back as it kind of leans up against things and then goes over. It's going to be those two corners especially. Right. So I'm going to start with some, is it 320 grit here I've got, which should just help to take that coat off, that lacquer off the top. I'm going to keep the tuning pegs and keys in there, so I have to go around them. The same way that, again, you're going to get protected areas as you tune. That bit right underneath there generally won't get a lot of touching. So it's going to go along this edge and it's going to go in and out from there, because that's all I can reach as we go through. Right, okie dokes. So I've sanded off round here. I took the pegs off so that we don't get too script with that. So again, sanded off around stuff. You can just about see that we've still got some of the shine up top. Taking this away. That's down to bare wood to try and get rid of the Squire badge, because it was really bright white underneath there. Scuff the edges. Left that bit shiny, because not a great deal is going to get inside of there. And again, same kind of thing on the back, worn off in places, but not where the metal work would be. So again, trying to age things sympathetically, wrapping the sandpaper between my hand and the neck, and going up and down there to where my fingers would be playing. Okay, so there should be, again, a blank section relatively up top that isn't as worn away as all of that area that then comes down to this point down here. Okay. Now time for the aging. Now we're going to go through similar kind of thing we did with the body, using some distilled vinegar, which I've just put in this little lid here, and some wire wool. Okay, right, that'll do. So I'm going to put that out in the sunlight. Hey, nearly dropped it. Could have dented it then, couldn't I? So I'm going to leave this out in the sunlight, let that age a little bit. Well, I'm really rather pleased with that. It's come out, it's greyed off really nicely. Even the back's come up a little bit on there as well. Lovely little touches on here where you get some of the varnish and some where you don't. I think that's come up really nicely. And I'm loving the fact that because we rubbed it in with the wire wool and I didn't wash that off straight away, it's left tiny little black marks where some of the wire wool's actually dissolved into the wood. and it looks like it's gone a bit mouldy. I love it. It's like it's been stuck in an attic, a damp attic for a couple of years and just been abandoned, and the story continues. Oh, we like it. Right, I'm sure some of you hate it. Let me know, I don't mind. But I'm really rather pleased with that. So first thing to do, print off whatever it is you want to be using. So I've got my logo there, and I want to put that in the kind of traditional logo place for this type of headstock. And I'm just going to pin that down just on the top side. Okay, oops. There we go. So I only want to do it on that top edge there, so it's going to hold it in place, but it also means I can flip it up and see what I've done underneath, put it back down, and it's still in exactly the same place again. So then I'm going to go in with my marking knife. Excuse me. Any sharp knife will do. It does want to be really sharp though, so generally, you know, Stanley blades. So in America, you tend to work with X-Acto knives, if I'm correct. Is that just might be TV? I don't know. Tell me in the comments. Is it X-Acto knives or Stanley knives that you tend to have in your Americanas? Right. Anywho, back to the job in hand. So now we're very carefully going to cut that pattern out and leaving a score line underneath. Trying really hard not to go over. So you see at this point here, I'm going to stop there. If I continue in this direction all the way up to that corner, there's a fair chance I can overrun. So I'm going to stop before the corner, and then I can go in from this angle and know that I'm going to be pinpoint accurate on that corner there. No overrun. Work like that all the way around all of the lettering that you want, and then you should be able to check. I can see a really faint line underneath there that's going to work for me, and we'll take it from there. There we go. So that's imprinted that lot. I'm going to take that off. Just checking I've not missed anything. No, it's definitely all done. So we can get rid of that now. I don't know whether that's picking that up on camera. Probably not. You might be able to hear it though. Hear that? There we go. So we definitely know the grooves in there because we can hear the knife ticking across them. Right, what I might do now is go over some of them that look a little bit faint, which they kind of should be at this point. And just deepen them a smidge because we're going to come here in here with a new toy, or certainly new to me. Yes, I've got myself a Dremel, a proper one. I've always gone for the cheap stuff before, but decided this time to go for the official item. I got this little router attachment as well. You could go for the big plunge router attachment, which was a bit more expensive. But also I was a bit worried that that might be too big to fit on the headstock as it's got that little slope up towards the nut. So I went for the small one thinking that might be safer. I am planning on doing more inlay work. I don't do a lot of inlay stuff, but I really fancy getting into that. It looks something that could be a lot of fun. So we'll see how this goes and see if we can work that headstock pattern into there. So we can see where the knife lines have gone for those bits. I've gone around this bit really gently with a pencil, so you can see it better, but also so I can see it better too. So we're going to use this little attachment for the Dremel. It's got a little hole at this side, which is quite useful because it means we can get the light in there to have a look, and obviously we've got this big viewing window through this point. So trying to be as careful as possible. I'm not going to go right up to the edge straight away, and let's just see what happens. So that's where we can get using the tiny Dremel. It gets us almost into the pointy end, just not quite. But these super thin parts here, we're certainly getting those with that pointy section, so it means that these really skinny parts of the lettering can happen with there. Is it the right bit to use? I'm gonna say probably not. I could do with getting a 1.5 mil router bit to go in there, but I don't have one, so we make do and mend, don't we? So we got up to the top. I'm going to go in there with the knife and kind of chip that out really carefully with there, either with a knife or possibly a chisel, we'll see, just to clean that up. Well, that's that routed out then. So now we've got the challenge of filling it back in again. So I'm going to use a resin that's not really a resin. It's a cheat. You'll love it. Well, there we go, a cut out section. So now we need to fill this in, and I'm going to use just some white paint at the bottom, because the wings are going to be white that the body's getting carved into. And then I'm going to do something a little bit special. Don't tell anyone, right? Because what you're going to see in here will give you a little inkling of what else I'm going to do other than just white on the wings down below. But don't tell anyone, it's a secret. Shh. For the secret part, I've stolen my daughter's packet of Claire's sprinkles. If you're unaware, Claire's is a make-up-y, girly kind of hair clip shop. It is Claire's. But it does have this really fine lot of sparkliness, so I'm just going to put just a little bit, just by a tiny knocking, a little bit in there, just to make that shimmer and sparkle. We can't just have white for an angelic something, can we? So I'm definitely going for just a little bit of glitter in there. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to leave that to dry. Okay, completely allow that paint to dry, and then I'm going to fill the rest of those holes with super glue. Yes, we're going to fill the space with super glue. Now most people would use resin at this point, but I don't have any resin. I've never even used resin. Oh, can you imagine this day and age and I've never used resin? I'll have to give it a try soon though. Super glue does not have to be expensive. I buy super glue in packs like this for £1 at the pound shop, and guess what? It's really sticky. It also dries beautifully clear. Now, along with super glue, not quite often you'll see us use super glue and an accelerator as well, so it sticks instantly, that old masking tape and super glue trick. I'm not going to use accelerator in this process, because what it tends to do is bubble up or make it cloudy, and it doesn't run really clear, and I want this to be clear like resin would be. Right, let's have a go, carefully fill up those gaps and see if we can fill it up so it just runs level. Well, there we are, one finished headstock neck logo type of thing. A little bit of sanding to do just to clean up those edges, but pretty much that's that finished. Right then, so next thing is to get that body painted. So that's going to be the next video, which will happen next week. I've got a little bit of carving still to finish on there, but we'll get that painted, and then you know the extra special secret thing that's going to make it a bit more ethereal. Ooh, posh word of the day, ethereal. If you like the sound of that, click the subscribe button, make sure you ring that notification bell thingamajig, and smash the like button for me. Stick some comments down below, let me know what you think of it so far, and go and sharpen your tools, and I'll see you soon. God bless.